Hello all, welcome to NetBook and welcome to Spring Boot tutorials. I'm going to start a new phrase Spring Boot tutorial in my channel. This is going to cover very basics, as well as after that I'm going to cover the advanced topics of Spring Boot. Today I'm planning to talk about the Spring Boot introduction. What is Spring Boot? Why should I use the Spring Boot? What are the features it is providing? And what are the advantages? And what is the minimum requirement if you want to learn Spring Boot? That is what I'm going to discuss over here. Spring Boot is a Spring module which is part of a Spring framework and which provides the rapid application development. When I say rapid application development, using the Spring Boot, you can develop your applications very quickly, as because of it's going to provide all predefined configurations and it helps applications to build quickly, and it will provide easy and fast way to set up as well as configuration while development, as well as um, even while testing also. It provides easier and faster way of setup, configuration and run your applications. Either it might be the simple Spring Boot application, it might be the web-based application. In short, the Spring Boot is combination of your Spring framework with the embedded server. When I say embedded server, you don't need a separate server. The Spring Boot is going to come with embedded servers. As it represents over here, the Spring Boot is going to be mix of Spring framework with the embedded server. You don't need any XML configuration over here in the Spring Boot. That is the Spring Boot over here. Combination of these two. The Spring Boot framework, it is a dependency injection approach used in the Spring Boot. It contains the powerful database transaction management capabilities. Using the Spring Boot, you can implement a very powerful database transactions. It simplifies the integration with other Java frameworks like Hibernate or Struts, like Struts or Hibernate. Such kind of frameworks we can easily integrate. It reduces the cost and development time of the application, because of when we quickly build application using the Spring Boot, you can deliver your product quickly and the development time will be lesser. When development time is lesser, your cost automatically will reduce. So along with the Spring Boot, it is easy to integrate with the other projects like a Spring Data. You can integrate with the relational database or NoSQL using this Spring Data project. Spring Batch. Spring Batch is another project which is part of a Spring framework. It will provide the powerful batch processing, so we can easily integrate with the Spring Batch also. We have a Spring Security. If you want to implement any security frameworks, we can easily implement in a Spring Boot using this Spring Security. Spring Social, if you want to integrate with the social networking like a Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, such kind of a social networking, if you want to integrate, we can use a Spring Social project. Spring Integration, this is another project which is part of a Spring framework. You can use this project for integrating enterprise applications. So the advantages of Spring Boot: whenever you build an application, you need to deploy somewhere and run it. But Spring Boot application can be started easily just with one command, java-jar. With this, we can start our Spring Boot application as a standalone also. We can test web applications easily with the help of embedded HTTP servers like a Tomcat, Jetty, such kind of things. You don't need to deploy anywhere this var or jar separately. The application itself is going to come with the embedded server, that is Tomcat or Jetty, whatever the embedded server you want to embed it, you can do that in a Spring Boot application. It provides the starter prompt to simplify the Maven configuration also, and it will provide the production ready features like a matrix, health check, or maybe externalizing your configuration. Such kind of a thing you don't need to do separately. Spring Boot itself is going to provide those features also within the Spring Boot framework. There is no XML configuration required in the Spring Boot, and it will provide the command line interface for developing, testing your Spring Boot applications also. It offers number of plugins for integration or managing your applications, and it will minimize the writing the same kind of a piece of code as well as XML configuration or annotations, such kind of a things it will minimize, and it will help to quickly deliver our products. As I said, it will be increases the productivity and reduce the development time when we follow the above all these things. The goals of Spring Boot is, the main goals of the Spring Boot is going to be, the main purpose is development and unit testing, integration testing time to be reduced. How it will be? Because of it is going to optimize our development approach, and it will avoid the using the multiple annotation configurations, and it will avoid to import multiple statements, as well as it will avoid the XML configuration, so that we can develop our applications quickly and we can achieve our goals by reducing this development time, unit testing time, and integration testing time. So the prerequisites for the Spring Boot applications are, if you want to start learning or maybe start implementing a Spring Boot application, you need this following the softwares which is required in your development system or to deliver your products easily using the Spring Boot. The first software is Java 1.8. It is required, and it is required Maven 3.0 or more, and it is required the Spring framework, as well as you need one IDE, that is Spring Tool Suite, or maybe you can download the Eclipse. Within the Eclipse you can install Spring Tool Suite plugin also. I'm going to cover this topic in my next video, how to set up your environment. Please watch this space. And what are the main features of Spring Boot? Using the Spring Boot, we can do the web development, and we can implement the Spring application, and we can implement event and listeners implementation. Some of the admin features, we can externalize the configurations, we can use the property files, AML support it will do. It will be type safe configuration and logging, security. All these features are part of your Spring Boot. I hope this is clear, the introduction. The main purpose is to reduce the development time and it reduce the development cost. Spring Boot is going to be the predefined configuration all it is provides, and it will simplify the application development. So in my next video I'm going to cover what are the softwares it is required, how to set up your environment, that is the development environment, that is I'm going to cover. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe NetBook. See you in the next video. Thank you.